Hello students, a very good morning to all of you. I hope you people are doing well. Welcome to Gradeup, India's largest online coaching platform. How are you people doing today? मेरा नाम नवीन अय्यर है और आज मैं और एक आपके लिए सेशन लेके आया हूँ that is based on cloze test. So just give me a quick just give me a quick acknowledgement as to who all have joined in so that I can start the session at once, guys. Hello. Hello guys, I can see a lot of people have joined in already. Uh, Great. So before I start, I would just like to tell you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for people who've joined in, because I regularly keep coming up with such sessions, which is really very useful for all the law exams, guys. So please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Right. So let's start the session, guys. Today's session is based on cloze test. We call it a cloze test session. Now, basically, in a cloze test session, what happens is you have a paragraph in which there are random blanks within the paragraph, and those blanks are basically numbered. Those blanks are basically numbered. Okay, and for each blank, you have four options, and you have to select the correct option from the correct answer from the given options. So I will be giving you a paragraph, okay? You will give me the answers and then I will discuss which is the correct answer for that one. Okay, well done. So let's start, guys. Before I start, let me tell you that all the live class courses for the CLAT and other law exams, it's available on the Gradeup app. Okay, you can use the green 45 code because it is the World Environment Day today, and you would be getting a 45% off on this particular course. So that's the code you can use if you want to if you want to purchase the live courses on the app. Okay, let's move on, guys. This is the first passage which you see in front of your screens. Probably for people who are using smartphones, it might be a bit smaller for you, but try to read it. It says in the following passage, some words are deleted. Fill in the blanks with the help of alternatives given below. Select the most appropriate option. Whichever option you feel is the best one, you have to select that. Now, in order to solve such passages, such cloze test passages, if you remember, for people who've been following my sessions, I've already told you that you should read the entire paragraph and understand the thought given in it without looking at the options. You shouldn't look at the options, but identify the idea or thought given in the paragraph. So I'll read the paragraph out to you. It says, many in India are attracted by the dash of Chinese authoritarian model, whereby democratic rights dash seen as an obstacle to attaining efficiency and rapid economic growth. Evidence from the coronavirus dash, which has so far infected around 75,000 people in China and killed 2,118, should give them dash. While the epidemic was first reported in Wuhan on December 12th, the matter was hushed up. Li Wenliang, a doctor who dashed his colleagues on social media, was punished and silenced later. He dashed to the disease himself and silenced. Later, he dashed to this disease himself. Wuhan was in quarantine January 23, but by which time 5 million people are reported to have already left the city for the Chinese New Year holiday. The reason no one spoke up and precautionary public warnings weren't issued. Governments need to dash face, and an authoritarian system makes it difficult for subordinates or grassroots workers to pass dash. Bad news to the superiors. By contrast, Kerala seems to have dash a better job in containing the coronavirus or Nipah before it. Because its health system is based more on trust in sharing information, this should give pause to those who think authoritarianism is justified because it works better. So, I got the paragraph for you. I read the paragraph out to you. Now, you have to select the options for me. Okay. So what do you think should appear in the first blank? It says many in India are attracted by the dash of the Chinese authoritarian model. Attracted by the temptation, allure, life or savageness. What do you think should appear in the first paragraph? In the first blank. Savageness. Many are attracted by the savageness of the Chinese authoritarian model. You people are saying savageness. Guys, let me tell you, attracted, whenever you talk about attracted, right, this is a kind of a positive word. Okay, but positive word, so generally you should select a positive word in this particular blank. Now, savageness is something wherein someone is extremely uncivilized. In Hindi, we call jungly. Okay, kind of jungly ko savageness kehte hain. So you cannot say savageness of the Chinese authoritarian model. You could probably say temptation, but temptation again is kind of a negative. And if you are attracted, you cannot be attracted by the temptation. You can be attracted by the allure. So the correct answer for this one is B, which is allure, guys. Allure basically means a kind of a positive word with which you are basically tempted. B is appropriate. Okay, B is appropriate. Allure is the best appropriate word here. Okay, let's move on to the next blank, guys. Next blank says, to the allure of the Chinese authoritarian model, whereby democratic rights dash seen as an obstacle. Democratic rights have been seen, had been seen, are seen, or were seen as an obstacle to attaining efficiency and rapid economic growth. Which do you think should appear in the second blank? Which do you think should appear in the second blank? Give me the answers, guys, through the chat boxes. I'll get to know which is the answer you would select. So I can get a fair idea as to what is your accuracy. And accordingly, I will explain the correct word and why exactly I have put that particular word there. Okay, people are saying B. Again, majority people are saying B. Some are saying A and some are saying C. Now, let me tell you, the correct answer is C here. Okay. So, it should be whereby democratic rights are seen. This is in the passive voice, guys. You cannot say have been or had been because these are perfect tenses. Perfect tenses and there is no duration. Okay. If time period was given here, like whereby democratic rights have been seen as an obstacle for several years or since the beginning of democracy or something like that. If you had a since or a for, you could have written have been or had been. But you don't have since or for, or the duration is not mentioned there. So that's the reason you put are seen. And you cannot put were as well because it's not talking about the past. It's talking about the present. So that's the reason you put democratic rights are seen as an obstacle. Okay. Now let's move on to the next blank. As an obstacle to attaining efficiency and rapid economic growth. Evidence from coronavirus dash. Evidence from coronavirus pandemic, epidemic, epizootic or sporadic. What do you think should come in this particular option? Harshvardhan is asking junior. Most junior is wrong. Absolutely right, Harshvardhan. Most junior or most senior you cannot write. It's better you write senior most or junior most. Even if you have to say someone is at the topmost position in your organization, you should say you cannot say He is the most senior person. No, you should say he is the senior most person. Absolutely correct. Okay, pandemic is the correct answer, guys. Well done. Again, a pretty easy one for you. For the C option, for the blank number C, you should select pandemic here. Okay, now further let's move on. It says coronavirus pandemic, which has so far infected around 75,000 people in India and killed 2,118 people. Okay, 2,118 people, should give them dash, should give them motivation, should give them encouragement, should give them fear, should give them pause. What exactly do you think should appear in this particular blank? C, should give them fear. Guys, understand the paragraph and then answer, okay? It says should give them dash. I'm talking about what, guys? I'm talking about rapid economic growth. It's seen as an obstacle to attaining efficiency and rapid economic growth. Okay, and evidence from coronavirus pandemic, which has so far infected around these many people and killed these many people, should give them dash what? Not fear, but the best appropriate option should be pause. Okay, they have come to a pause here, so should give them pause is best appropriate option here. Now let's move on to the next blank. It says, while the epidemic was first reported in Wuhan on December 12th, the matter was hushed up. You know what hushed up means? Hushed up is something which is not disclosed to the public. That is hushed up. Chori chupe sab cheez ko chupa lena, that is hushed up. Li Wenliang, a doctor who dashed colleagues on social media, was punished. Who defamed colleagues, who alerted colleagues, who framed colleagues, or who looked up colleagues. Which do you think is the correct answer? Which do you think should appear in this particular blank, guys? Give me the answers in the chat boxes. Let's see. Okay, Candice, framed. Bhumija, do you know the meaning of framed? The meaning of framed basically means to falsely accuse someone of a crime. That is framed. Okay, so he did not frame his colleagues. He basically alerted his colleagues. The correct answer for this one should be alerted. Okay, in blank number E, you should put Li Wenliang, a doctor who alerted colleagues. Alerted colleagues about what? The coronavirus pandemic. Colleagues on social media was punished and silenced. Okay, he was punished and silenced because he alerted colleagues on social media. Later, he dashed to the disease himself. Later, he succumbed to the disease, cured to the disease, resisted to the disease, or vaccinated to the disease. Which do you think should appear here? Okay, which option do you think should appear in this one? Okay, few people are saying A. Okay, some are being resisted to the disease. Mohit Garg, let me tell you, resisted. If you select this particular option, right, resist does not take the preposition to. It doesn't take it. Now, what do you have? Look, after F, it says to. Okay, resisted does not take the preposition to. The correct answer is succumb. Succumb basically means surrender. Succumb means to surrender. So whenever you say he succumbed to the disease, basically it means death. When a person dies from a disease, you can always say he succumbed to the disease. Basically it means he surrendered to the disease, which means the disease took over the better part of him and he actually died. So succumb should be the correct answer for this one. Whosoever said A, well done, guys. Let's move on. So it says succumbed to the disease himself. Wuhan wasn't quarantined dash January 23rd. Up to January 23rd, up till January 23rd, until or on. Which do you think is the appropriate option for this one? Give me the answer for this one, guys, quickly. Guys, I'm waiting for your answers, so it's better you keep answering in the chat boxes, keep liking and sharing the video as well. Yes, the correct answer for this one is C, guys. Guys, let me tell you, many times what happens is when you read a cloze test paragraph. Now, suppose there was no option given. Okay, what you have to do is, that's why I say you need regular reading habits, because many times, even without looking at the options, you can actually guess which word should appear in this particular blank. Now, let me tell you, let's read this sentence G. It says, Wuhan was in quarantine dash January 23rd, by which 5 million people are reported to have already left the city. So, even if you did not have the options, you could have guessed Wuhan wasn't quarantined until January 23rd. Whenever you talk about a date, you always say until. Until means jab tak ki nahi. In Hindi, it is called jab tak ki nahi. 23 January, 23rd January tak quarantine nahi kiya gaya tha. That's what it means. So until January 23rd, by which time 5 million people are reported to have already left the city for the Chinese New Year holiday. The reason no one spoke up and precautionary public warnings weren't issued. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, Wuhan wasn't quarantined, by which time 5 million people are reported. Okay, 5 million people had already left the city. Which city? Wuhan city, for the Chinese New Year holiday. Which means the pandemic, the epidemic started to spread. So the reason no one spoke up and precautionary public warnings weren't issued. Okay, that's the reason it wasn't issued, because many people had already left. Governments need to dash face, and an authoritarian system makes it difficult for subordinates or grassroots workers to pass dash bad news to superiors. So what do you think should appear in H? Okay, governments need to make face, government need to save face, clean face, destroy face. Which do you think should appear in this particular option? Save is absolutely right. Weren't issued, governments need to save face. Save is absolutely right. Save face and an authoritarian system. Let me tell you what is an authoritarian system. It's kind of a dictatorship wherein they have the authority, they do not let the public do much. It's always the authorities which have the entire command and say in whatever they are about to do. So that's an authoritarian system which is very, very similar to that of dictatorship, you could say. System which makes it difficult for subordinates or grassroots workers to pass dash, to pass on, pass off, pass by or pass to. Which do you think should appear here? To pass. Give me the answer for this one, guys, quickly. Okay, so guys, I'm waiting for your answers. Again, many people have actually given the correct answers on the app I'm talking about. Guys, okay, pass on, absolutely correct. On is the correct answer. Face an authoritarian system makes it difficult for grassroots workers to pass on. Absolutely correct. Okay. Bad news, pass on bad news to superiors. Okay. By contrast, Kerala seems to have dash a better job. Kerala seems to have do, have to, have did, done or doing. Again, that's what I said earlier. When you read the sentence in a flow, you can easily guess the option, the correct answer, even without looking at the options. So obviously, what would you put here? This is a pretty easy blank for you. You already have the helping verb have is written. So you should know after have you always put the third form of the verb. So the correct answer is C. Well done guys, whosoever said C, well done. Absolutely correct. Okay. So Kerala seems to have done a better job in containing the coronavirus or Nipah before it, because its health system is based more on trust and sharing information. This should give pause to those who think authoritarianism is justified because it works better. So well done, you people judge for yourself how much did you score out of 10. Okay, there were 10 blanks in this particular paragraph. You judge for yourself. Even if you scored 7 or more than 7, I would say it's a good enough score. For starters, 7 or more than 7, it's a good enough score, guys. Okay, 7, you got 7 out of 10, well done. Let's move on to the next paragraph, guys. Read this paragraph first. I'll read it out to you and then we will go about discussing the answers here. Again, I want you people to give me the answers. Okay, people have scored 8 out of 10 and 9 as well. Great, that's wonderful, guys. Keep it up. It's only reading that would help you, and keep following such sessions, which will be extremely important. Okay, something, let me tell you, at times what happens that when you keep following such sessions on a regular basis, this will really help you in clearing your exams. Okay, this actually happens intuitively or without you knowing yourself that you are actually studying something. If you regularly keep following sessions and keep reading, this actually becomes very easy. Scoring on 9 or 10 out of 10 blanks is a very easy task. Okay, so keep following sessions and keep reading. Let's move on. It says, India's family planning program relies primarily on female sterilization. Dash accounts for over 75% of overall modern contraceptive use in the country. Until Dash adverse Supreme Court verdict in 2016, policy push on this included sterilization camps where women got cash incentives for the operation. Dash contrast, male sterilization is at negligible levels. Dash being safer, quicker and easier, it remains severely inhibited by social taboos and myths. Lately, Dash family planning initiatives are being revamped to increase male involvement because shared responsibility in contraceptive use is healthier than the idea that it is a woman's responsibility to avoid getting pregnant. Okay, so I've read the passage out to you. This basically talks about female and male sterilization. So it's based on that particular topic. Even if you get a fair idea about what is written in the paragraph, guys, you can easily select the answers. So I'm waiting for your answers. It says, India's family planning program relies primarily on female sterilization. Dash accounts for over 75%. Which, who, whom or by. Many people have already started giving answers. People are saying A, absolutely correct. A is the correct answer. Okay. So female sterilizations, which accounts for over 75% of overall modern contraceptive use in the country. Until Dash adverse Supreme Court verdict in 2016. Until until an, until the, until then. Which do you think should come in this particular blank? Blank number B. What do you think? Guys, revamped. Someone asked me what is the meaning of revamp. Let me tell you, revamp is something wherein you make a place or a policy better. If there are loopholes in a policy, if you are making it better, or if you are rectifying a system, you are basically revamping it. Or you are putting in additional policies, additional rules for the betterment of the system. That is basically called revamping. Okay. So I hope, yeah, for improvement. Absolutely right, Swasti Pathak. It means to alter something for improvement. Okay. That's what I said. So that's the meaning of revamp. So whoever asked the meaning, I hope that's clear to you guys. Okay, so the correct answer for this one should be B, guys. Until an adverse Supreme Court verdict. Okay, until an adverse Supreme Court verdict in 2016, policy push on this included sterilization camps where women got cash incentives for operation. Dash contrast male sterilization. What do you think should appear if when I don't give you the options, you can still guess. Okay, have you guessed it? Let me give you the options now. So dash contrast, in contrast, by contrast, on contrast, or to contrast. What do you think should come here? In. Okay, let me tell you, here the correct answer should be by, guys. Remember one thing, you always say in contrast to someone. Remember this, okay? In contrast to someone, by contrast with something. By contrast with something. Now here it talks about, where is this blank? Yeah, here it talks about he got cash incentives for operation. Dash contrast male sterilization. Now sterilization is something. So that's the reason you put by. When you say in contrast to, it basically means someone. Guys, even phrasal verbs, many phrasal verbs, when we talk about adjust to, and adjust with, what is the difference? You say adjust to something and adjust with someone. So in English, there are several such words where the prepositions differs when you're talking about something, when you're talking about someone. In both the cases, the prepositions that we use, that is actually different. Adjust to something means he cannot adjust to the climate of Delhi. That is adjust to. But when do you say adjust with? When you're talking about people. I cannot adjust with the new employees in my company. Cannot adjust with. Okay, so similar to this, many phrasal verbs have this difference. Okay, many phrasal verbs have this difference of something and someone. Okay, this might be this might be actually new for a few people here, but you have to learn this. I'll try to come up with such a session wherein I explain about such phrasal verbs, about the difference of such phrasal verbs in the forthcoming classes. Okay. Now look carefully. You should say by contrast, male sterilization is at negligible levels, dash being safer, despite being safer, in spite being safer, despite of being safer, or instead of being safer. Which do you think should appear in this particular blank? Give me the correct answer for this one, guys. I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. Few people are saying A, some are saying D as well. Now let me give you the answer for this one. The correct answer is A, guys. Always remember, in spite, whenever you write in spite, you always use the preposition of with it. But whenever you say despite, you don't use any preposition. No preposition. Many a time in error correction or fill in the blanks or such questions, you generally have for written or of written after despite. But remember, you cannot use for, you cannot use of after despite. Sorry, it should be despite. Despite. After despite, you won't use any preposition. But the meaning of in spite of and despite, these two mean the same. This actually means kind of although. In Hindi we call uske bawjood. इसके बावजूद या उसके बावजूद जब भी कहते हैं, दैट्स व्हाट मीन्स इन स्पाइट ऑफ और डिस्पाइट. एंड व्हेनेवर यू से इंस्टेड ऑफ मतलब उसकी जगह पे, ओके, उसके जगह पे, ओके, इंस्टेड ऑफ स्टडीइंग प्रॉपरली ही ट्राइड चीटिंग. ओके, इंस्टेड ऑफ पढ़ने के बजाय दैट इज इंस्टेड ऑफ. Okay, that is instead of. So I hope you know the difference between these two. So you would put despite here. Let's move on to the next blank. Okay, despite being safer, quicker and easier, it remains severely inhibited by social taboos and myths. Lately, dash family planning initiatives are being revamped. Lately, moreover, lately, though, lately, however, lately, the. Which do you think you should put here? Lately, dash family planning initiatives are being revamped to increase male involvement because shared responsibility in contraceptive use is healthier than the idea that it is a woman's responsibility to avoid getting pregnant. So, which do you think should appear in the last blank? Guys, you would basically put however here. The correct answer for this one is C. Lately, however, family planning initiatives are being revamped to increase male involvement because shared responsibility is in contraceptive use is healthier than the idea that it is a woman's responsibility to avoid getting pregnant. So the correct answer for this one is C, guys. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. Guys, understand the meaning of the passage. What does it ultimately say? Concluding sentence says, लेकिन क्या हो रहा है, फिर भी लेकिन आजकल फैमिली प्लानिंग इनिशिएटिव्स को रिवैम्प किया जा रहा है. It's being made better. It's being improved. Okay? So that's the reason it is a shared responsibility in contraceptive use. It's a shared responsibility means people should be proactive, males and females both should be proactive in going in for contraception, okay, if needed accordingly. So you tell me how many people. Jhalak Bhargav got 5 out of 5. Well done, guys. So keep practicing such sessions, guys. Keep following such sessions, and I'm sure you people will actually benefit a lot from it. So with that, we come to the end of the session. I will be bringing up such short sessions in the future as well, and keep solving together, and I will be there to explain it to you as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the session, guys. Please like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next session. Until then, goodbye, stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.